which you have to play with at Michigan State University. So I'm excited to see him playing here live today and in person to see how his game starts to translate to the pro level.
And for the Miami Heat, Bam Adebayo, lottery pick out of Kentucky a year ago, he enters his second year, and the Heat are expecting big things from him, even more, an even bigger part of the rotation in his second year with the Heat.
Bam Adebayo is an energy guy, plays hard, gets after it every night, and that's a part of the Miami Heat culture. So he's a good example for these young players to learn from that. You know, in this organization, this is how we approach it. You know, and as a young guy, I got an opportunity. You can get one as well if you come in and do the right things. We won't get to see him today, but we're going to see him a lot down in South Beach in the regular season.
Bam Adebayo sitting today, but here are your starting lineups. The rookie out of Kansas, Devontae Graham, Dwayne Bacon, J.P. McCurra, the rookie out of Xavier, Miles Bridges, and Willie Hernan-Gomez. Starters for the Heat, Derek Walton Jr. out of Michigan, Daryl Macon, Duncan Robinson, and also Landry Inoku and Derek Jones Jr., and we are underway. Willie Hernan-Gomez turning, shooting, it's off, and he comes off a big game for Charlotte. 16 points, 14 rebounds, and 2 blocks as they beat OKC by 1 on Friday. Here's Macon, and the rebound comes to Hernan-Gomez.
Good to see 2 Arkansas guys out there, Macon, Walton Jr. also living out their dreams, man. Being a young kid from Arkansas, you know, you come to Summer League, hope you can make it, hope you can let everybody know you belong. So good to see those guys out there giving it a go.
Charlotte Hornets Summer League coach Jay Hernandez. And he's got some talent to work with when you consider Bridges, Hernan-Gomez, an established NBA player. Dwayne Bacon enters year 2. And this guy, Devontae Graham, last year Big 12 Player of the Year. And a shrewd move by the Hornets on draft night as Bacon fires with 4 on the shot clock and hits. Devontae Graham was an early second-round pick to Atlanta, 34th overall. And then Charlotte said, all right, we'll give you 2 second-round picks, and we want him. And Devontae Graham will now be a part of a point guard situation with Kemba Walker and Tony Parker, who has agreed to terms, according to reports, with these Charlotte Hornets.
Clear indication that the Hornets wanted to focus on that lead guard position. Not sure in terms of Kemba Walker's long-term future with a year left on his deal. He's obviously been huge for that organization. If he chooses to stay and they can figure it out, of course, it's his spot. But if something happens over the summer or during the season, you know, you now have Tony Parker that you can pick, maybe play some minutes there in Charlotte, and then Devontae Graham as a guy with good basketball pedigree from the University of Kansas.
Nice drop off there. That is Derek Walton Jr. to Landry Inoku. And there's a couple of Michigan players on this Miami Heat starting lineup. Duncan Robinson, number 62 in white, the reigning Big Ten Sixth Man of the Year, and Devontae Graham is on the board. Charlotte's up 4-2. And Duncan Robinson can really shoot the rock. Hits there. He had 18 points, made 4 of 6 from downtown on Saturday as Miami lost to New Orleans.
And it's not an easy shot to make consistently. He was frozen by a stunt from the defense. Makes a fake like he was going to pass it, and then still, you know, had the ability to stay balanced and knock down that 3. And it's not an easy shot to make. Good knockdown by Duncan Robinson.
Another nice pass by Walton to Inoku. And Landry will be at the line. And there is Eric Glass. He has worked his way up, video coordinator, and a big part of Eric Spoelstra's staff, and getting his first opportunity as a Summer League head coach. And you think about Dan Craig, who is now one of the top assistants to Eric Spoelstra. And Dan Craig used to stalk the sidelines for the Heat in the Summer League. I think back to the days in Orlando. And there is Eric Spoelstra. Started in the video room himself. And how about that? How about those minds? Sam Presti and Pat Riley exchanging ideas.
It's a lot of great basketball minds and wisdom.
Hold on. Do we have a trade in the works here? Got something
You
going
never
on.
know.
We got something going on here.
You never know.
Devontae Graham fires and was fouled, so we're going to look at Devontae at the line. I'm always trying to stir stuff up. Come on, let's wheel and deal. Let's get Roe Parrish with some breaking news here. But Sam's a great guy, so is Pat, and Coach Spo as well. You know what he's saying right there? No, Pat, you cannot have Russell Westbrook. Okay, we are not trading the back-to-back triple-double machine, Russell Westbrook.
You know, we oftentimes, think about the players and, who they looked up to or who they emulate or would like to emulate in their playing career. And you think about Sam Presti as a GM or president of a team, being able to sit down and talk to Pat Riley, the president of the Miami Heat, and look at him as a guy you want your career to go that way. You want to be the head of a championship level organization, one that sustained success for a very long time. And it's good to see those two guys having a conversation, whether it's trade talk or not.
Miles Bridges fouled by a fellow Big Ten player, and a couple of years ago, they played against each other. Derek Walton fouling Miles Bridges. Boy, to be a fly on the wall, to be one of those bolts right behind Riley and Presti, just to hear what they're talking about. I'd be fascinated to know. Miles Bridges looks like he's in terrific shape there.
He does. He looks like he's leaned out a little bit since his days up in Lansing, Michigan, and he spoke about it, I think, even during the draft, that was a focus of his. He knew he was going to have to be able to do it, and it's not that guys don't want to, when they're in college, but the responsibilities of trying to be a student and a basketball player, and basketball not being your full-time job like it is now as a pro. So Miles Bridges has made the adjustment and getting his body ready to go for his NBA life.
How about Derek Jones Jr.? Miami last week was at the Sacramento Summer League, California Classic as they call it. He had some big moments there. And did not play yesterday, yesterday for Miami, but obviously hitting a three right there. And he has a non-guarantee on his contract, Derek. So, and there is Derek Jones Jr. He said, Kamla, shut up. They're going to guarantee this contract. I'm staying in Miami. And Devontae Graham defended well. And then a rejection on the other end, but goaltending called on Miles Bridges. And Daryl Macon. So Miami up 13-11. 5:46 to go in the first quarter.
Checking into the ballgame now for Charlotte.
And Rick, look at the Miami Heat lineup. Not a lot of size on the court, but you have two guards in Walton Jr. and Macon that can both handle the basketball. They can push it. They can navigate screen roll situations. Defensively, they can get up and create some ball pressure. And then you have Duncan Robinson shooting the ball, spacing the floor. Derek Jones Jr., small, slight build, athletic. And then you have the big man in the middle. But four guys around one big, that offensively and defensively can do a little bit of everything. And a lot of teams playing that way around the league.
And Oko with a good out-of-space rebound. Miami back on the attack, up two. Derek Jones Jr., he's going to do it again. Oh, and he went for a swing. He's got 7 points of the noisy variety. 6-0 Miami run. And a timeout here, 5:13 to go. 2017 NBA Slam Dunk Contest runner-up. And look at him go.
On his teammate. Derek Jones Jr. down the lane.
I got your guarantee right here, he said.
Give your head a Mountain Dew kickstart.
Get up! This is where a kid fell down and a champion got out.
This is where shoes to fill became footsteps to follow.
The Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry.
This is where ego was laid to rest. And humility rose in its place. But my mind is where every challenge I've ever faced has been won or lost.
Hi.
How was your day?
It's good. It's long.
Let's fix it. Play Connection by One Republic.
These days my waves get lost in the ocean. 7 billion swimmers, man, I'm going through the motions. Set up a flare, I need love and devotion. Trade it for some faces that I'll never know. Notion. Can I get a connection? Can I get a connection? Can I get a connection? Can I get a connection?
Welcome back to the MGM Resort Summer League. The Heat up on the Hornets 15-11. So just an update on Malik Monk. Talking with Hornets PR before the game, the team wanted to use this Summer League as a springboard in the next season. Of course, he is done. He will be out for the remainder of the Summer League. He has a fractured right thumb. He will be reevaluated in 6 to 8 weeks. Now, this is very disappointing to the team because this is the second year he's been limited in Summer League because last season he had an ankle injury that prevented him from playing in the remainder of the Summer League. So, guys, how is this going to affect his development moving forward this season with a brand-new head coach?
It depends on how he handles it, Ro. That's good information and intel. It will affect it some. I mean, there's only so many things you can do in terms of workouts and rehab and, simulating basketball situations. But missing these opportunities here in Vegas Summer League to be in real game situations, to start to take on some of that additional responsibility of being on the floor, being a guy that your coaches can evaluate what you can do with the ball, how you're going to be able to defend in terms of guarding multiple guys, getting through screen rolls, etc. But, hopefully he can also use it again as an opportunity to still find ways to get better. Upper extremity injuries like to the thumb don't limit your entire body in terms of still training and being in great shape. So hopefully he can still be fit enough when he gets back and pick up where he left off.
And that is Dwayne Bacon with a strong drive. What a buzzkill for Malik Monk. On the last play of the game on Friday, suffers that injury. And last year, as Macon comes back from Miami, last year, Steve Clifford, for whatever reason, and I'm not putting it all on Coach Cliff, but Monk wasn't in the rotation. And then at the end of the year, he did get into the rotation and had some big games. But now there's a new head coach, James Borrego, and according to reports, Borrego has said that Malik Monk is going to be, quote, a major player, end quote, for the Charlotte Hornets this year. You've got Kemba, you've got Parker, and Derrick Jones Jr. has done it again. You've got Batum, you've got Monk, you've got Bacon, you've got Jeremy Lamb, and they've got a bevy of guards. So but it does sound like James Borrego has an emphasis on getting Malik Monk some shine and some burn this year as Jones drives and is fouled again. And let's pump the brakes on Malik Monk for just a second and behold the dunking greatness.
Derrick Jones Jr. to the line.
As we see Devontae Graham on the reverse. We'll get that replay for you here in a second because I heard a yelp from Derek Fisher.
Which I try not to do often.
No, do it. Keep it real here in Vegas, D-Fish.
He is.
You want to gasp, you want to yelp, you do your thing, man.
Derrick Jones Jr., we speak about levitate, he levitates. He does not just jump. Really athletic, but he also looks like he's starting to put the right pace together with his game. Oftentimes young players are going too fast. They're trying to prove to themselves and everybody that they can go out and get it and do the job.
Whoa! I thought that alley-oop pass was too high. Devontae Graham to Willie Hernan-Gomez. What a finish by Hernan-Gomez. And that short shot is off from Miami, and back come the Hornets. We got some nice dunks here in this first quarter.
And Willie Hernan-Gomez is a good young player. I didn't get the opportunity to coach him in New York. He came in after I was gone, but we drafted him in the second round. He played some basketball in Spain with Kristaps Porzingis. They were on the team together and worked really well as a unit. and his opportunity in New York didn't quite flourish, but he's in great shape. He looks good, high IQ, knows how to be in the right positions, in the right places, and he's a team guy. So hopefully he can stick here in Charlotte and have a chance to build his career.
And we've got a player down, and that is Derek Jones Jr., and he looks to be in quite a bit of pain. And you see Eric Spoelstra is right there checking on him. Ro Parrish will certainly check on his status, and we'll have more, and we certainly hope Derek Jones Jr. is okay.
This burger speaks American. 2 flame-grilled beef patties, melted American cheese, beer-flavored creamy tavern sauce, crispy onions, and crispy bacon. The king of burgers meets the king of beers. Introducing the American Brewhouse King, only at Burger King.
YouTube TV, cable-free live TV is here. Try it free.
Gatorade, with carbs to help fuel your muscles and help you make the leap to the next level. Studied, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
I'm born and raised in Queens, New York. I've been living here all my life. I take pride in being a New Yorker. It has impacted the way I play the game. I never give up. I bring it every single night. There's not one possession that I take off in the game.
Charles just beasts it and finishes.
New Yorkers are there for you. New Yorkers are always going to stand behind you. That's really what connects me to the city.
Charles dials in from 3.
I'm here to work.
And there is Coach Eric Spoelstra with a concerned look on his face, and Derek Jones Jr. being helped off by Bam Adebayo and one of the trainers or assistants with the Miami Heat Summer League team. Here's another look, and boy, did he turn that right ankle significantly, immediately raised it up off the ground and then grabbed it. We just wish Derek Jones Jr. the best. He has thrilled us here in this first quarter, and now he is down at being helped by medical staffers and that kind of thing. But God bless Derek Jones Jr. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, man. There's so many of those stories, throughout the history of our game. Honestly, guys like Malik Monk, a first-round pick, who in successive years has had an injury that has kept him out in the summer, which maybe then limits his ability to be ready to start the season, which then limits the coach's ability to trust him because he hasn't been able to work. And then you don't know what happens from there. And then now seeing Derek Jones Jr., looks like he's about to have a great Vegas Summer League on a non-guaranteed contract where he's trying to get a job out here. And it looks like he may have an ankle injury that could disrupt that timing. So just unfortunate for these guys that things like this happen in our game.
No question about it. We are tied at 19, and at the Thomas and Mack Center, they're coming down to the wire, the Washington Wizards. Moments ago, we checked in on this game, and they were down by double digits, and now it is San Antonio with a 3-point lead, 6.3 to go, and a very high-scoring game as both teams are 90-plus. And another inbound for San Antonio, clearly in control here, and I assume, unless Washington has a foul to give, that they'll be giving a foul here to put San Antonio at the line. And it's Mathiang at the line for the Charlotte Hornets, product of Louisville. Here's the inbound for San Antonio. Got to get it in. Oh, they're threatening a 5-second count right there. And it's out of bounds off Washington. So 1.2 seconds went off the clock there for San Antonio. And Mathiang missed them both.
It's hard to explain to people how difficult it is to get the ball in bounds.
Is that a long five?
It probably was a long five, but it is so hard, man. Defenses, when the ball is out on the side, it's late in the game. The referees are trying not to, decide the game by calling a ticky-tack foul. So a lot of times it's even more physical than the game normally is. And, it doesn't matter what you draw up sometimes. It's just about a guy figuring out a way to get open and get that ball in.
Daryl Macon with the jump shot for Miami, plus the foul. And so he'll head to the line, three-point play opportunity. Daryl Macon had 4 yesterday for the Miami Heat. And San Antonio with a critical free throw as they go up 4 with 3.7 to go.
Overtimes aren't popular in the summer league anyway. I think
they are to me.
I think the fans love it.
I love it. It's a 2-minute OT and then sudden death.
But in terms of having been a coach in the summer league, and
get them out healthy,
I'm not speaking for all coaches, but yeah, get the game over. You know, in 40 minutes of play, you've seen enough from your guys that you don't need those extra 2 minutes. They've gotten enough situations and things to learn from, and get them out healthy and get on to the next day and get them out of Las Vegas so that they can then be healthy for the rest of the summer.
I'm not sure who that player was for Washington that made that right wing 3, but it looked like he got it off in time, and the ref said no basket. And the player, even, you know, in a losing effort, he probably wants those stats. He hung his shoulders like, come on, man, give me the 3. It doesn't even impact the final, you know, the result here. San Antonio was up 5, but these players, they're fighting. There are careers on the line. There are livelihoods on the line. So you understand the desperation out here, and it leads to some terrific plays. Derek Walton Jr. misses that 3. And we're under a minute to go in this first quarter. Here's Petrasek, and he splashes it with that left hand.
And what'll be interesting to continue to watch this Charlotte Hornets team play in Summer League, you know, we know it probably won't be the full version of what they're going to do offensively, but with a new head coach, Mitch Kupchak, new GM, how they decide to play basketball together offensively in a way to take advantage of the personnel they have. So are we seeing glimpses of what they plan to do offensively, which would be maybe different than what Steve Clifford was doing as the head coach there?
Rashad Vaughn, former first-round pick, just made that shot for Miami. It's down to 2. It's down to 1. Walton, I don't believe he got that off in time. They're scoring the basket. A buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter by Derek Walton Jr. And Miami takes a 26-22 lead to the second quarter.
Pushing it down, Derek Walton Jr. attacking the basket. No fear. I think it's going to count when we come back after the break.
Score the goal.
In an era of online retail where everything is just a few clicks away, buying a car should be no different. That's why at Carvana, you can buy a car 100% online. We made it easy to browse, view, and buy from over 10,000 cars. You can even trade in your old car, all while binge-watching your favorite TV show. Afterwards, we'll deliver your car to you. Or you can pick it up from one of our car vending machines. Either way, your car comes with a 7-day return policy. So grab a seat, relax in your comfy pants, and enjoy the new way to buy a car at Carvana.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more, but by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You want to bring the heat? Prove it. With carbs to help fuel muscles. And electrolytes to help replace what you lose in sweat. Studied, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
I know it's a baseball phrase, but tie goes to the runner.
Yeah.
And that really was the result as we looked at replays. I mean, it was simultaneous when the red lights were around the backboard and when Walton Jr. let go of that ball. So basket good for Derek Walton Jr.
Basket good. Always good. Oh.
The alley-oop is up high and thrown down there by Inoko.
Always good, whether you're ahead or behind, to get a bucket to end a quarter. There's just something about how that leads to positive energy going into the huddle. You know, positive energy during discussions about what we need to do to stretch the lead or get back into this game. So nice play by Derek Walton Jr. to finish that quarter.
Boy, he thought he was fouled right there on that foray to the hoop, and the Hornets coming back. The 3-ball pops out, and the rebound comes And it is made right there by Joe Chile.
Interesting little IQ play there. Miles Bridges was running down the court during that possession, signaled to the guard to skip that ball, and he set the screen in order for that open three-point shot to be taken. He missed it, but that's great awareness for a rookie player to see 2 steps ahead in that way.
And the right-handed hook shot goes down for Yante Maton, the Georgia product. And one more look here. You can see ball still in his hand. I mean, he let it go right as the lights came on. So score the goal.
There it is. Space and then the light.
So that wasn't a tie. He got it off the fingertips. What is that? Literally by probably 1/10 of a second, he got that ball off.
1/10 of a second can make a difference, Rick.
Not as much as 4/10 of a second. Fish, I was in the AT&T Center for that game, covering the playoffs for NBA TV. And by the way, that is one of the great but brutal and excruciating meat grinder. It was low scoring. Yeah. Every bucket, every point was at a premium. And you had, Kobe hit, then Duncan hit, and then you hit. Wasn't it sort of back-to-back-to-back potential game winners?
It was back-to-back-to-back, yes.
.4, I want to let you tell the rest of the story, but that crowd, and you know how noisy it is in San Antonio. Those crowds are amazing. In that place, you can't hear yourself think. You could have heard a pin drop after you hit that shot. Everybody was just, they couldn't believe it.
Like you said,
I couldn't believe it.
Low-scoring game. I think at one point we were up by 14 points. So in a low-scoring game.
Game 5, too. Tied at 2.
And the year before, tied at 2. Spurs win Game 5. We lose Game 6. Season's over. So Game 5 obviously always pivotal in a postseason matchup when it's 2-2. But that play, man, I couldn't watch it back for weeks after that. I intentionally did not watch it because if we don't win the championship, to me, then what is there to celebrate? So I waited until after the season, and when I was sulking and crying after losing to the Pistons, that was my therapy. So I was able to watch it after.
I did that.
That was at least one good thing I did before we lost to a worthy Detroit Pistons team. But just an amazing moment, man, just to be a part of it and making a game-winning shot for my team in the NBA. I had done that in college before or in other situations, but to do it in the NBA on the biggest stage in the world in basketball, just thankful, man. And I got out of AT&T Center pretty quick after that.
I was just going to say that. By the way, that was Miles Bridges with the jam for the Hornets. Fish made the shot and sprinted for the tunnel, and I'll never forget that. And you had guys trying to hug you and tap you on the head, and I remember you kept just knocking hands out of the way because you just wanted to get. What were you afraid of?
Well, I grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it's not LA, but there were some games that we played in high school on the road where if we won the game, which we did win a lot of games, you better get out of there pretty quick or else the guys from the other side of town is going to let you know we had a problem with what you just did out there.
So old habits die hard, huh?
Yeah, let's get up out of here real quick.
Oh, my goodness. All right, let's tell you what's coming up here on ESPN2 throughout the day. The games just keep coming at you. Portland and Atlanta, Warriors and Rockets, Memphis and Orlando, and the Lakers and Bulls. And that's, just bounce back and forth. Hopefully you have 2 TVs today, and you can keep it locked to NBA TV and also ESPN2 and just watch all of the action. But it continues on the ESPN app as well. And that shot is off, and the rebound for Charlotte, and here they come. Fish, that very simply is one of the greatest shots and most impactful and historic shots in NBA history. It really is. Personally, when I think back to the great shots that I've been a part of in terms of just being in the arena covering it for NBA TV, that's at the very top. But you authored up one of the greatest playoff shots of all time, my friend.
And again, people remind me about it all the time. I obviously know it happened, but just to be in that position as a guy like Daryl Macon here or Derek Walton Jr., being from Arkansas, and you hope you can make it to the NBA one day, and then to actually be in that position and make that shot, just a phenomenal experience, one I'll never forget. And the great part I think about it, unfortunately for Spurs fans, but everybody's story about the shot is really intriguing to me. Like your experience, a fan's experience in San Antonio, a Laker fan in LA. Russell Westbrook has a great story about watching that shot and how his family celebrated after that game in L.A. because they were Lakers fans when he was growing up. So all the great stories are what make it such a fun moment for me.
74-73 was
in
the
playoffs.
And it was in the shot clock era, by the way.
Yes.
74-73. You guys scored 12 points in the fourth quarter in that game. 12.
But think about that, it was in 2004 without social media being what it is now. And how, we would have been talking about that for weeks on end. And we scored 12 points in the playoff game and possibly lost it. Phil Jackson can't coach. Kobe should be traded. Shaq can't finish, whatever that people would have wanted to say. And it just speaks to how different the game is now and how these guys are under so much more scrutiny in a sense because of how much the game has grown.
Shaq only had 11 points in that game, amazingly. And here's Duncan Robinson. Nice little handoff, but his teammate was not ready. There's Landry and Oko. So what did Shaq say to you after the game, after hitting that shot with .4 to beat San Antonio?
He probably, nice shot by Hunter Gomez. If I recall correctly, he probably said, give me the ball more next time. He only had 11 points.
So it wasn't, way to go, Fish?
No.
It was, yo, I need the ball.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I need the ball more. Feed the big dog. Big dog got to eat.
Domino's delivery drivers are experts at handling bad roads. But those roads shouldn't ruin your pizza when you carry out. So we're doing something about them, starting with this one. If your drive home is rough on pizza, tell us at pavingforpizza.com so we can fix roads across the country. Then carry out large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each.
Eddie Jimenez is the son of immigrants who fought for a better life for their family. Through their example, Eddie learned to fight for others. When the strongest hurricane of the century made landfall, Eddie took to the air, rescuing 42 people and earning a medal for his heroism. Eddie flew with a fighting spirit that can't be pinned to the ground. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, brewed with a fighting spirit.
Growing up in Indiana, you knew the game of basketball. Now, that's what you knew. I wanted to be the best.
Too easy for Skylar Diggins.
Coming back from my injury was one of the biggest hurdles in my professional career. I'd never been without the game of basketball before, so just being out there on the floor again with my team was an accomplishment. I was really proud of that. I'm here to work.
Heat lead the Hornets by 2, 4:40 to go in the first half. As you look at the man known as Riles, we've got Roe with an update on Derrick Jones Jr.
So, yeah, we have an update from Heat PR. Derrick Jones Jr. will not return. He has a sprained right ankle. So he suffered that mid-first quarter. The Miami medical staff, along with head coach Eric Spoelstra, were taking a look at him. They were tending to him underneath the bleachers during the end of the first quarter and into the second. So, again, he will not be returning. And he was playing so well. He had some highlight dunks. Fish, when you get hurt like this, how does this affect you, and how do you bounce back moving forward?
Bro, it's a great question and a powerful one for us to focus on because there are so many guys here like Derrick Jones Jr. on non-guaranteed contracts. So this is literally your opportunity to get a job. And when you think about, how many guys give their entire lives away to be in this position and have this happen when you're playing well, things are going well, you look like you're going to prove that you belong and maybe get a contract. And, we hope that it's not a severe ankle injury and he can be back, tomorrow. But if it isn't, just so unfortunate with the timing. But he seems to be a guy that will be able to bounce back and find a way, and he has a bright future no matter what.
He sure does. And, you think about the construction of the Heat roster from Dragic and Walton Jr. as Dwayne Bacon scores, Tyler Johnson, Deion Waiters, Magruder, Josh Richardson, Winslow, Derrick Jones Jr. By my estimation, there's room on this roster as Rashad Vaughn scores. There's room on this roster for Derrick Jones Jr. because he does things like this.
Yes, and there's rooms on a lot of rosters for guys that can make those type of plays, getting above the rim every time.
And by the way, that's dunking on an NBA guy right there. That's not, you know, an overseas guy or a G Leaguer, all due respect. Willie Hernan-Gomez is an NBA player, and you just put him in the rim.
Derrick Jones Jr., his story right now, it reminds me of Trevor Ariza. You know, Derrick Jones was in Phoenix, you know, didn't quite work out. You know, here in Summer League with Miami, you know, we'll see what kind of turns out for him. But Trevor Ariza, a guy that was drafted in Orlando, didn't really get much of an opportunity to play. You know, no minutes. And then he's kind of thrown into a trade to come to LA, and the rest is history. And a lot of guys, that happens in their career. The first one or two places they go, the timing is off. You know, they're not mature enough to handle being a professional, all the things that it takes to be good out there every night. And then all of a sudden, the right place at the right time, the right coach, the right environment, and he starts to blossom and show the type of player he was the whole time.
And ironically, after all those jams, he got hurt playing D. We wish Derrick Jones Jr. well. We'll be right back.
This burger speaks American. 2 flame-grilled beef patties, melted American cheese, beer-flavored creamy tavern sauce, crispy onions, and crispy bacon. The king of burgers meets the king of beers. Introducing the American Brewhouse King, only at Burger King.
Say goodbye to the one-size-fits-all family unlimited plan. Starting now, everyone gets the plan they want without paying for things they don't want. Mom gets the unlimited she needs, Dad gets the unlimited he needs, the kids get the unlimited they need. It's big news from Verizon.
Wow. All this for us.
Yeah, and every other family in America. I think the Kowalskis are next.
One family, different unlimited plans, starting at $40 per line. Switch now and get $300 off our best phones, all on the network you deserve.
When you're America's best value, you don't need a whole lot of hoopla. What you need is a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and an IIHS Top Safety Pick Award.
And we're gonna need a whole lot of hamburgers because look at this grill.
Amateur.
During Kia's America's Best Value 4th of July event, get 0% APR for 66 months plus $1,500 summer bonus cash on select models.
His is the oldest registered distillery in the United States. Perfect for making Tennessee whiskey. Charcoal mellowed drop by drop for smooth sipping. Which is not the easy way, but it's his way.
There is the new Charlotte Hornets general manager, Mitch Kupchak, who has a long history with the man to my right, Derek Fisher, president of basketball ops and general manager. Quite a coup for Michael Jordan. And, of course, the Lakers moving forward with President Magic Johnson, their general manager, Rob Pelinka. But it wasn't going to be long before Mitch landed with another job in the NBA.
No, not at all, man. He has forgotten, remembered, and then forgotten again more basketball than most of us will ever see in our lifetime. An NBA player, championship NBA player, and then obviously a championship front office man, general manager in Los Angeles for a long time, working under Jerry West for many years and learning from him, and then running the show himself for a long time. And you know, happy for him that he's getting another opportunity to do what he loves to do, which is help build teams and help them be successful. And they're doing it the North Carolina way out there in Charlotte. So I wasn't surprised to see Michael Jordan and Mitch Kupchak working together.
Great call on the Tar Heel connection. Duncan Robinson just hit another 3 for Miami. He's got 3 of them in this game. And the Heat have a 43-39 lead, just over 2 minutes to go. Ro, what do you have?
So Fish, we were talking about this previously in the meeting. So we just showed Mitch Kupchak, who clearly is a Laker legend, done a lot of things. You're very familiar with how him and the Lakers organization operates. Then you move to the other side. You have the San Antonio Spurs. Borrego, of course, is the head coach now. 2 totally different organizations that do things completely different, but both have figured out ways to win. So you're very familiar with both organizations. Talk about the difference between the two and how maybe you can merge them together to be successful with the Hornets.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. You know, observing the Spurs kind of culture and way of doing things from the distance, You know, they did a good job over the years of developing guys that were going to be a part of their organization for a long time, and they were able to sustain success over, you know, multiple decades because of that approach. In LA, a little bit of a different approach. We had star power at the top, and then a lot of guys changed over the years around Shaq and Kobe, you know, Gasol, etc. But in talking to Mike Malone yesterday about the Nuggets, I don't envision a problem with James Borrego, Mitch Kupchak, and Michael Jordan getting into an alignment of vision, because I think all three of them want the same things, and that's to be successful and win. So they'll find the right ways to collaborate, communicate, and work well together. They've all won, and starting there is a great place. And again, happy for Mitch. I think he's going to do a great job.
So the Charlotte Hornets here trail by 3. Kupchak looks on. And, you know, drafting Miles Bridges, really trading for him on draft night. And Devontae Graham, he got it off to J.P. McCurra, the rookie out of Xavier, who scores again. Mitch Kupchak, like I said, swung that fantastic move with the Hawks. I really like Devontae Graham. And at 34 in the draft, Charlotte ships out a couple of second-round picks to bring him in. They just swung a trade, a 3-team trade, according to reports, where Charlotte brings back Bismack Biyombo, and Orlando gets Mozgov and Jerry and Grant from the Chicago Bulls. So Mitch Kupchak is moving and shaking. And
Nice.
look at the draft. And we're watching Arnoldus Kolboka out here, the Lithuanian with the 55th overall pick. He's been out here on the court as well. All 3 of these guys are on this Hornets Summer League roster.
Yes, nice draft picks. The Hornets, you know, they have a roster that's top heavy with veteran guys. And so to be able to add young guys with those picks, Miles Bridges, great Michigan State experience, well coached by Tom Izzo, Devontae Graham, University of Kansas, Bill Self, those guys are not afraid of anything. You know, they've seen a lot of basketball. They played against a lot of great players, and they've been coached by really good coaches. So I think their transition is going to be really smooth into the NBA. They're going to be able to help the Hornets win some more games this season.
Chicken fingers. Clyde to glide. Yes. Low cut socks.
No way.
Papua New Guinea?
That's amazing. I need an agent like that.
I got you, Glide. You worked hard for those. Give them the protection they deserve.
Come on. Napoleon Bonaparte at the Battle of Waterloo. That's got it.
Battle of Waterloo? Those guys are good.
Barcelona Jammer.
No way.
Easy. That was easy. That last one was so easy. So easy.
The challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problems tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them.
We're back in Las Vegas, and that is Bill Self, Hall of Fame head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks. To his left, Jay Triano, who's an assistant to the guy to his left, James Borrego. He's the new head coach of the Charlotte Hornets and a product of the Pop Tree.
And that's a big tree and one that's been really successful. Think about the coaches' meetings that they've been able to sit in, witness, you know, have discussions about good things to do, bad things to do. What, you know, how can we help our team improve and get better?
Adam Silver in the house, NBA commissioner.
When you talk about sitting in meetings, whew, nightmares sitting in meetings with this guy and
matching wits
and
with the great Adam
former
Silver.
Commissioner David Stern. But the league is in a great place right now, and you know, it's a thankless job at times. I'm sure he understands that, but the Vegas Summer League is an extension and a byproduct of, I think, the growth of that the league overall has seen. More and more people from around the world loving to come watch and support our game. All 30 teams able to participate and be a part of something that's just getting better and stronger as the years go by. And Adam Silver's done a great job since he's taken up that #1 seat as the commissioner.
No question about it. The NBA is in great hands. And that foul on Rashad Vaughn He with a 2-point lead, 45.9 to go in the first half. Bill Self here, taking in the hoops, but specifically watching the man with the ball right now, Devontae Graham and Miles Bridges. The ball was tapped out by Hernan Gomez, and Bacon tried to save but could not. Bill Self is so fun to talk to. What a gracious man he is.
Yeah, he appears to just have a joy for life, you know, that he does everything with and coaches the game that way, passionate, you know, competitive. But his players just seem to enjoy playing for him and working with him. And, you know, guys that go to Kansas, a lot of them have probably been good enough to maybe leave after 1 year. But there's something about the environment there in Lawrence, playing for Bill Self, you know, the experience they have there, where guys, you know, they stay for another year or two, and really by the time they make it to the NBA, they're physically ready to go out there and compete. Bill Self, great basketball coach, Hall of Fame for sure.
And I'm sure Self appreciates that timeout by Eric Glass here at the end of the half.
Get up! This is where a kid fell down and a champion got up.
This is where shoes to fill became footsteps to follow.
The Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry.
This is where ego was laid to rest and humility rose in its place. But my mind is where every challenge I've ever faced has been won or lost.
At Wingstop, we don't just make wings. We make wings worth obsessing over, because every order is made fresh. We don't start till you say go. Just like we've been doing for more than 20 years. We make it our way. And in doing so, make it irresistible. Wingstop, the wing experts. Try the Bringin' It Boneless Bundle, just $16.99 for a limited time.
The action continues all week long in Las Vegas. Don't miss your chance to see tomorrow's stars today at MGM Resorts NBA Summer League. Get your tickets at NBAtickets.com. Rick Kamla, Derek Fisher, and Ro Parrish here in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. And I just saw a storefront that said sushi burrito. I've never seen those two words put together before. You can get a lot of stuff in Vegas that you can't get anywhere else, including a sushi burrito. Here we go, under 10 seconds to go. And it's J.P. Makura back for the Hornets. Gomez a little fake. He's driving left. He finishes good. He's been awesome in this first half. He's got 11. Comes off a big game. And does Walton Jr. have another buzzer beater? Pardon me, that was Macon with that shot. And it's off, and we are at the half. 46-46. We've had dunks. We've had an unfortunate injury to Derrick Jones Jr., and we have had an entertaining ball game so far. More to come. Third quarter right around the corner. We're going to give you some sights and sounds, some highlights, if you will, from the Summer League so far next.
Say goodbye to the one-size-fits-all family unlimited plan. Starting now, everyone gets the plan they want without paying for things they don't want. Mom gets the unlimited she needs, Dad gets the unlimited he needs, the kids get the unlimited they need. It's big news from Verizon.
Wow. All this for us.
Yeah, and every other family in America. I think the Kowalskis are next.
One family, different unlimited plans, starting at $40 per line. Switch now and get $300 off our best phones, all on the network you deserve.
Fire it up.
Duralast, proven tough so you can always deliver. Only at AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination.
When I was younger, I didn't want to admit I had a serious disease. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be a normal kid. Because of my diabetes, I lost the sight in my left eye. Misconceptions continue to surround this monster public health issue. But the simple truth is, diabetes can often be prevented and complications avoided. I think if I had just been open and honest about what my challenges were, I think it would have been easier for me to take better care of myself. If you don't take care of yourself when you're younger with this condition, it will catch up to you later on. You're going to find the courage to manage this disease for the rest of your life by reaching out for help. Reach out to people who care about you, reach out to people who know how to help you with this disease. You're not alone. Understand the realities of diabetes and know that you can manage it and lead a full, active life.
Copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
We welcome you to Las Vegas, the site of the 2018 NBA Summer League.
We got to get our floor space so we can play.
We've got great matchups almost every time you turn around.
Very excited being on that floor, just running up and down with the guys.
Oh, Jared Jackson got him again! And what a block! Oh! Daniel House is in the house.
Todd called me and he said, "You're not going to believe this, but we have a shot at DeMarcus Cousins." And we just felt like we didn't have enough all-stars. So we're trying to finish off a pretty good first quarter just inside the tape. Knocks it down. 15 first quarter points for Malik Monk. Bender with a big block. How would you describe it?
Very, very nice road still here, and I'm just very happy to be here.
Josh Jackson with the rejection on Marvin Bagley.
Oh, the follow.
With the one-hand jam. On the break. Room service. And a big way.
The Summer League has become amazing. All 30 teams here for the first time.
Yes, sir.
Of the 2018 MGM Resorts Summer League continues tonight on NBA TV.
Get ready for an all-new Auto Trader. Search with all-new speed. Shop with all-new control. Now with the power of Kelley Blue Book Price Advisor on Auto Trader, so you'll know the price is fair. Supercharge your search and find your next car faster than ever. Shop all the cars like never before with the all-new Auto Trader.
To enjoy Jack Daniel's honey, you don't have to be a whiskey drinker.
You don't have to know we've been doing this for over 150 years.
And you don't need to know that we use real honey from real bees.
You just need a friendly introduction.
This burger speaks American. 2 flame-grilled beef patties, melted American cheese, beer-flavored creamy tavern sauce, crispy onions, and crispy bacon. The king of burgers meets the king of beers. Introducing the American Brewhouse King, only at Burger King.
It's the most dangerous motorcycle jump ever attempted. Evel Knievel tried it and failed. Tonight, live from Las Vegas, Travis Pastrana will risk it all with the most dangerous jumps of his life. Evel Live, the 3-hour event, kicks off Car Week tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on History.
Hey, dude, thanks for the ride.
So, you're having trouble getting car insurance?
Yeah, my insurance company, totally dropped me, man. Your driving record's gnarly, bro. We told them to call the General.
Right on. Use your smartphone and get an anonymous online quote now. The General's payments are low, and you'll get immediate proof of insurance regardless of your driving record. Let the General help make your life easier. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time. Flips it off. Fans are high.
He's going to be good at both ends of the floor.
Bamba, easy bucket.
What a block! Jackson Jr. with great overall play. It's the MGM Resorts NBA Summer League live from Las Vegas, and we're at the half here. The Hornets and the Heat tied at 46. The third quarter coming up here in moments from Cox Pavilion, and this is game 2 of 5 on NBA TV this afternoon, going on into the night, deep into the night on the eastern side of the United States. We encourage you to stay up late with us. Rick Hamlet, Derek Fisher, we have Ro Parrish with us as well. And a couple players in double figures so far. You've got Dwayne Bacon with 13 for the Hornets. Willie Hernan-Gomez has 11 as well. He has 5 rebounds, has made a 3, and he comes off a strong game. He's having another one here.
And, you know, we mentioned him before the game. Got a chance to see him a lot in preparing to draft him in New York a couple years ago, and looks like he might be able to find a home here in Charlotte, playing the way he's playing here in the first half, putting himself in the right positions to make good plays at the basket there, screen roll, going up over the top to catch the lob, and then putting it down off the dribble. And even without the explosiveness over the top, nice touch finish with the left hand. Really smart basketball player and great team guy.
I like what you said, too, that he looks like he's in great shape, and I agree. He looks strong, but he doesn't look puffy. He looks strong and
right.
lean.
Correct.
At the same time, so he's ready to go for the Charlotte Hornets, and we are about to welcome in the legendary Mitch Kupchak, who is the new shot caller for the Charlotte Hornets as he settles in here, and boy, do we have some Laker history here at Cox Pavilion. How many rings is what we get a headset on Mitch Kupchak? How many rings between you two? I know Derek Fisher
Mitch
is
has
a
like 12
5-time
or 15
NBA
or
champion. How many rings do you have, Mitch? How many rings are between you two guys?
Well, I'm not sure, Derek. How many do you have?
I mean, I have 5, so that means we have 19 probably. This guy has.
Well, I have 10. I don't think I earned them all, but I do have 10.
You have 10 rings.
Yes,
so
once again,
so
I piggybacked on a bunch of them.
So, Mitch, what you should do is go over and talk to Pat Riley and say, I got you, because he's got 9.
Well, because of Pat, I got a bunch of those, to be honest with you, so I got to thank him.
I love it. I love it. But, you know, this has been a very interesting summer for your new club. Lots of trades, draft picks, and let's start with some of the draft picks and the trade that you swung on draft night to get Miles Bridges. What was it about the Michigan State product that caught your eye, and obviously Michael Jordan and everybody with the Hornets to say, we got to bring him in?
Well, obviously we think he's a prospect that is going to get better. Now, he does have the advantage of having one extra college year, but most of the kids that are taken that high are freshmen. So we thought he was a little bit ahead with his maturity. He's a great athlete, a great kid. Showed a lot of maturity in staying in school an extra year. I think if he would have came out last year, he probably would have been a lottery pick also. So he chose to stay in school, and he was still a lottery pick. Defensively, I think he's going to be fine. I think he can defend a bunch of positions. But in this league, you got to figure out how to score. The players are so good defensively, and the coaches are so good. That may take long for him to do, but I think defensively he can have an impact right away.
Mitch, I wanted to ask, man, it's so important for people to understand, what did you learn during your time away from the game? People think the NBA is just all glitz and glamorous games, the great life, but there are also setbacks and disappointments. What did you learn about yourself that you're going to use now at your new home in Charlotte?
Well, first of all, I had one of the all-time runs in Los Angeles. I got there in 1981 as a player, and I left, last year. So that's close to 30-something years of my organization. And I never felt I took it for advantage, being there and being around the game. So that part of it I didn't feel like was a factor. But I do feel that I love the game. I love working with young players. I like working with coaches. And I enjoyed the year away immensely. I got to do a lot of things. My mom is 94 years old, so I got to spend time with her and my family back in New York. So that was a very, very plus thing. But I miss, just working on, a project and building something. I never expected that this opportunity would come along. And, it's perfect for me because I'm working with people that I know, and I hope to get to know better. And unfortunately, it is a rebuild as far as a staff is concerned, and a lot of people that are really, really good lost their jobs. But on the flip side, I get to build something and bring in people and hire people, and that's fun.
So, Mitch, we were talking about sort of cultures colliding when you talk about Borrego from the Greg Popovich tree with the Spurs. You're obviously, as you said, 30-plus years with the Lakers and all the rings there. And so it's a merging of these cultures, and James Borrego was your choice to be the head coach, replacing Steve Clifford. So why was James Borrego the pick?
Well, we interviewed a bunch of coaches. I think we interviewed close to 9 coaches, several twice. And it was a long process. It was number 1 on the list. We felt if we could get the coach locked in, then the coach could start the process with the assistant coaches. Our medical staff has to be redone, and we're redoing our scouting staff as well. And like I said, a lot of really, really good people, lost their jobs. But that's what we signed up for in this league. I went through it. Derek's gone through it. You're lucky enough to be in this league, but you have to understand that every now and then there's going to be a change. Sometimes the changes are unexpected, but you do have to anticipate, that that's going to happen. That's a part of the job. I like to use the expression, this is the life that we've signed up for, the life we have chosen.
Mitch, tell us about the difference for you being in this seat now. For many years in Los Angeles, there was maybe not the full rebuild or having to build something maybe from the ground up. We were many years in championship contention, playoff teams, superstar players already in place. So maybe just adding a piece or two to that group. But here in Charlotte, a lot of contracts in place, but also you're building because now you guys are looking to do something new. Tell us about how you're going to look at those things differently.
Yeah, we went through both. In Los Angeles, in the 80s, I played there, and then I retired in 86 or 87, and Pat Riley was the coach, and Jerry West was the GM, and we had Kareem, and we had Magic, we had James Worthy, and a very, very established team. And then it was all about surrounding those guys with other veterans, that know how to win. Then Magic retired, and we went into a total and complete rebuild, and of course Jerry West was the architect, and the key move that Jerry made was, trading Vlade Divac for the pick from Charlotte, and we didn't know we were going to have a center. And with the pick, he drafted a 17-year-old kid, Kobe Bryant, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, we drafted Derek that year too, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, Jerry was able to secure Shaquille. So, and then Jerry retired 5 years later and left me with a completely full cupboard. Just completely full. And for me, it was just, once again, like Jerry did with Kareem and Magic, was just putting the right pieces around it. And then when that went through its process, then we started, once again, the rebuild 4 years ago through the draft. Kobe retired, and we had good picks in Ingram and Julius Randle. So, it's cyclical. And that's the business. Coach Borrego, if he were in San Antonio, he'd be going through it right now. They're clearly in a transition situation. So I think you have to recognize that in this business. Clearly the experience has helped me, and I hope I'll be able to apply some of the things I learned, to the Charlotte situation.
We could talk all day with you, Mitch. We're going to let you get back to the game. Just super quick as we go to break, a lot of pushback from you on West on the Kobe trade, right? You didn't want that, right? Jerry, what are you thinking?
Yeah, there was no pushback there, I'll tell you that. And if there was, I wouldn't admit it.
Mitch, thank you very much.
Say goodbye to the one-size-fits-all family unlimited plan. Starting now, everyone gets the plan they want without paying for things they don't want. Mom gets the unlimited she needs, Dad gets the unlimited he needs, the kids get the unlimited they need. It's big news from Verizon.
Wow. All this for us.
Yeah, and every other family in America. I think the Kowalskis are next.
One family, different unlimited plans, starting at $40 per line. Switch now and get $300 off our best phones, all on the network you deserve.
You love the look of exterior lighting, but lighting contractors cost a fortune. And wiring your own lights? Well, don't try that at home. You need Disc Lights by Bell & Howell, the portable, powerful, solar-powered LED outdoor lights that mount flat to the ground to create incredible cascades of light. Best of all, there's no wiring at all. Just press Disc Light flat to the ground and you're done. Bell & Howell disc lights utilize light conversion technology that absorb the sun's energy in storage cells, where it's converted into solar-powered electricity. So when the sun goes down, disc lights come up for 10 full hours and turn off automatically in daylight. And now you can get this set of 4 Bell & Howell disc lights for just $19.95. But wait, order today and we'll even ship it to you free. But there's more. Order today and you can get a second set of 4 disc lights. Just pay a separate fee. So don't delay. Order your Bell & Howell disc lights today. Call now.
Call 1-800-728-0387 or go to disclights.com. That number again is 1-800-728-0387 or order online at disclights.com.
James Borrego on the right and Jay Triano on the left. They are the masterminds behind the rebuild here in Charlotte, and the Hornets have a 1-point lead over the Miami Heat in a game that has been close throughout. The largest lead of the game was the Heat at 6. There have been 11 ties and 6 lead changes. Hernan Gomez 15, Bacon with 13, and Macon from Miami has 13. And from the baseline, it is Macon hitting again, and he is feeling it. He now has 6 field goals. And a 1-point lead now for Miami, halfway through the third. And this is Dwayne Bacon spinning and drawing the foul. And this is James Borrego's resume, 4-year deal with these Hornets, last 3 seasons with Pop in San Antonio. He has paid his dues, Fish, an assistant for 15 years in the NBA. And we were talking rings with Mitch Kupchak and you, of course. Borrego's got a couple of rings as well.
Yes, he does. And many, many years of experience working with other great coaches. And like we talked about earlier, the type of conversations you're able to have, the way you're able to learn from the way other coaches do things, strategies to use, how to build relationships with players, which assistant coaches are so valuable in being a part of that relationship building process with players. So James Borrego having that experience, I think will help him as a head coach now in Charlotte. And real quick too, Ro Parrish hit us up and we wanted to make a correction on Derrick Jones Jr.
Are our subs here yet?
No, they are not.
Okay, Derrick Jones Jr.
Next year, his contract is guaranteed, or this coming year. And then the following season is a partial.
Aha.
So I think he is on a guaranteed deal coming up. Miami Heat PR was clearing that up with us. We want to make sure that we get that right.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Make sure our information is good.
Well, guaranteed money is better than non-guaranteed money.
Yes, it is.
And good for Derrick Jones Jr. That takes the pressure off of that ankle injury he suffered earlier today a little bit more. So, Fish, 8 years ago today, it was a great day for the Miami Heat, as LeBron James told the world he was taking his talents to South Beach. How about that? 8 years ago today.
My, how things change.
And now he's a Laker.
Yes, he is.
Bro, what do you have?
Hey, speaking of LeBron and him taking his talents to South Beach, there's a report out earlier, and Fish, I'll throw this one to you since you're very familiar with Ty Lue, the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He said he would actually reach out to Coach Walton and maybe give him some pointers on how to handle and coach LeBron. And I understand you spent some time recently with Coach Lue.
Yeah, no, I mean, coaches, care for each other. I mean, everybody wants, each coach to do well. You're going to find yourself in the position of that coach at some point, whether doing well or being fired. All coaches are going to go through it, just like Mitch Kupchak just said. And Ty Lue being willing to do that speaks to Ty Lue's character, but Luke is also a great guy that I think will be receptive to that information and might even reach out to Tyronn Lue himself, because Luke's an open-minded guy, and he's going to want to make sure that he is able to work with LeBron in the most effective way that's going to lead to success.
Derek Walton Jr. on the run-out is fouled. Always a wise foul not to give up the easy bucket when you've got numbers. And obviously Eric Spoelstra coached LeBron James for 4 years in Miami. 4 trips to the finals, 2-time NBA champion in 12 and 13. Losing to Dallas in 11 and San Antonio in 14. Then LeBron James, of course, went back to Cleveland. 4 years there, 4 more trips to the finals, and now he's a Laker. And a nice spin move by the Miami Heat. That is Gerard Jones. Good ball game here, 62-59. Heat over Hornets. Both teams in the Southeast Division in the NBA. Hernan Gomez with a significant size advantage. He turns and goes glass. What about that touch?
Really nice touch, patience, not allowing the defense to speed him up. Got to his spot, rose up and shot the ball. And I mean, the way he's playing, we know it's Summer League, but that allowed the Hornets to probably have even more confidence with Dwight Howard's departure, knowing that this young man is developing fast and going to be able to play some minutes for them during the regular season.
His is the oldest registered distillery in the United States. Perfect for making Tennessee whiskey. Charcoal mellowed drop by drop for smooth sipping. Which is not the easy way, but it's his way.
Get up! This is where a kid fell down and a champion got out.
This is where shoes to fill became footsteps to follow.
The Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry.
This is where ego was laid to rest. And humility rose in its place. But my mind is where every challenge I've ever faced has been won or lost.
Hey, ready?
Ready.
Ready? Vamos. Habla más.
Darling. Ready? Ready.
The Junior NBA World Championship. 32 elite boys and girls teams from around the globe will compete
for a chance to be named Junior NBA World Champions.
The Junior NBA World Championship. Get ready.
Ready on three. Ready.
We're not in New York, but that is New York, New York, on a very famous corner in the United States of America in Las Vegas. And Malik Monk, Friday night here in Vegas at the Thomas and Mack, put on a show. 23 points, made 4 threes, had a couple of steals, and was splashing them for the Hornets. A buzzer beater right there, a big old swing and jam right there. Unfortunately, on the final play of the game, he suffered a fractured right thumb. He will miss 6 to 8 weeks. And it remains to be seen how big of a part of the plan he is for James Borrego and the Hornets this upcoming season. But Fish, I'll tell you this right now. 2 years ago in college at Kentucky, he was one of my favorite players. And I literally, is Kentucky playing? Is Kentucky on? I sought out Kentucky basketball games to watch Malik Monk play. And obviously he was with De'Aaron Fox as well. Another star-studded and loaded Kentucky team. But I'm a fan of that guy.
No, so am I. He's another Arkansas guy similar to Macon and Walton.
Wow, Arkansas is in the house.
So I'd heard a lot about him from people back home, family members, that he was a really good player. And so as soon as I got the opportunity to watch him play when he was in Kentucky, I took advantage of it. And every chance that I got, I tried to sit down and watch him play. And I was always impressed with the way he approached the game, confident. He played with passion. He loves to play the game. And now it's just about learning how to become a pro so that his coach and his organization trust him night in and night out.
Miles Bridges fading, hitting. He is so smooth. And that lefty stroke, remember that game winner he hit last year at the buzzer for Michigan State? And he can really play. Right now, he figures on the 3rd string for Charlotte, believe it or not. Because they are loaded on the wings. You've got Marvin Williams. Well, I mean, at forward positions and wing positions, you've got Marvin Williams, Frank Kaminsky, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Jeremy Lamb, Nicholas Batum. You've got Malik Monk. It's going to be hard for Miles Bridges to get big minutes as a rookie.
And what it sounds like to me as well is that practice is going to be really competitive. And that is also something that helps teams improve quickly. When there can be practice competitiveness where guys don't feel like they have guaranteed minutes and guaranteed spots because there's another guy at your position that's just as good as you are, maybe better, that raises everybody's level. And so that's a good problem for James Borrego to have, needing to be able to use different lineups and different sizes.
Kemba Walker last season, 22.1 PPG, 38% on threes, and that has always been a work in progress for him, but he's now at a very reliable state with his jump shot, 5.6 assists, and his first trip to the All-Star game. Kemba Walker might be the greatest bargain in the NBA. He has 1 year remaining on his deal, signed a 4-year, $48 million deal, so he's going to make $12 million this upcoming season. Kemba Walker, to me, and I don't know if you agree with this, to me, if I were his agent, I'd be using the max word.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, no question about it. Whether Charlotte or somebody else wants to pay it, I mean, when you're selling your house, it's worth what people are willing to pay for it. However, Kemba Walker comes fresh off of a trip to the All-Star game, his first trip there. He is a franchise point guard. Wherever he has been, his teams have been able to compete. He won in college. They haven't broken through in the Eastern Conference, but nobody has because LeBron James has been over there his entire career, basically. So, Kemba is a really, really good player. And Charlotte either is going to lock him up or somebody else will.
Two-time champion at UConn. He exudes winning. And Derek Walton Jr. knocks down that long two. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but it's not like that roster has been constructed to a here we go scenario where they're in the fast lane and ready to be third, fourth, fifth in the East. But shout out to Kemba Walker, and he's going to have another magnificent season for Charlotte, and we'll see if they bring him back or move him or what happens. But final seconds here of the third quarter, and a foul on Miami. And free throws coming for the Charlotte Hornets. It'll be Joe Cheeley at the line. And Gerard Jones committed that foul for Miami, 3.8. So could Derek Walton Jr. perhaps author up another end-of-quarter buzzer beater?
It's possible. He has the speed to do it, and he's strong enough. He's probably going to put his head down and try and get to the front of that rim.
Cheeley brings the Charlotte Hornets within 2. Now, Mitch Kupchak is about 10 feet from us. Is he cringing as I play the max card on Kemba Walker?
He might be. I'm glad we said that after the interview.
Here's Walton. He got it off, leaning in, and it's off the heel. You knew that was coming, didn't you?
Yes, of course. I love it.
Man, he made a lot of big shots for the Michigan Wolverines, and we got a spicy fourth quarter coming your way. Heat up 1.
Chicken fingers. Clyde to Glide.
Yes.
Low-cut socks.
No way.
Papua New Guinea?
That's amazing. I need an agent like that.
I got you, Glide. You worked hard for those. Give them the protection they deserve.
Come on. Napoleon Bonaparte at the Battle of Waterloo. That's got it.
Battle of Waterloo? Those guys are good.
Five Slam Jammer.
No way.
Easy. That was easy. That last one was so easy. So easy.
I am the DQ Jurassic Chomp Blizzard. Nothing rivals my massive peanut butter bites. And you can only find me at DQ, so hurry in. Run! Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
Hey, DirecTV lover. Check you out. Texting over here, talking over there, and streaming everywhere. That's your thing. So why miss out on the nation's largest and most reliable network? Switch to AT&T Wireless for all the talk, text, and data your heart desires, with no overages, ever. Plus, get $15 off your DirecTV bill for life, a savings of $180 a year. Now that's a beautiful thing. Switch to AT&T, because giving you the freedom of unlimited, that's our thing.
I am the DQ Jurassic Chomp Blizzard. Nothing rivals my massive peanut butter bites. And you can only find me at DQ, so hurry in. Run! Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
Heat up 1 to start the fourth quarter, and Pat Riley, the Heat president, and their head coach Eric Spoelstra looking on. And no Bam Adebayo today. He is resting. And Bam, in the first game for Miami, yesterday against New Orleans, had 9 points, 4 rebounds, and a block. You see Anthony Carter there in front of him, assistant coach on this Miami Heat Summer League team. And we're getting it going here in Cox Pavilion. Fourth quarter action. Rick Kamla, Derek Fisher, and Roe Parrish. And we have a steal to start this fourth quarter. Nice play by Ike Nwamu for Miami.
And you talk about somebody else that might be upset with us for throwing the max card out about Kemba Walker's Michael Jordan himself, the owner of the team, who will probably have to cut that check if he so chooses. I had a good conversation with him yesterday, and he's excited about the future of his team. Really.
Whoa, Bridges just rejected Walton at the rim.
Great defensive play. But yes, Michael Jordan speaking about his excitement for his team going forward and their style of play that they'll be able to lay out there this year with the new head coach, as we watch Miles Bridges not quit on the play with the new head coach. But again, with Dwight Howard coming out of the middle, even though he did have a good season statistically last year, you take that traditional big man out of the middle who's always trying to get to that block, and now you can start to play what the NBA has become. The lane is more open. Kemba Walker possibly more driving lanes. You know, Malik Monk, Jeremy Lamb, you know, Nicholas Batum, more space to operate out there, and versatile bigs like Miles Bridges, Frank Kaminsky, who can shoot and put the ball down. And so all of a sudden, offensively, the floor gets more spacious for the Charlotte Hornets. And then now they can combine that with some good defense and maybe have a better chance.
What a shot by Rashad Vaughn, former first-round pick, floating it home. And Walton with the steal. And the three ball is off the heel. Rashad Vaughn went to UNLV. Perhaps should be getting a little bit more love from the faithful here at Cox Pavilion. He was drafted 17th overall by Milwaukee in 2015. One and done guy at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
People forget quickly. One and done out of here. It's been a couple years. And, you know, they move on and start cheering for the next guy coming along.
They're worried about getting one of the Rebel Dogs here. For the hungry people here at Cox Pavilion. Chile at the line, bringing the Hornets within 2. You got the Dodger Dog, of course.
Yeah.
And here you got the Rebel Dog. Already 3 teams in Rashad Vaughn's career, Milwaukee, Brooklyn, and Orlando.
The Hornets number 24, Terry Henderson.
And, you know, as this fourth quarter winds down, that last offensive possession for the Hornets, you know, again, their style of play. You know, the lane is wide open. They're using their bigs in DHO situations and keeping the floor spaced and allowing for more opportunities to get downhill, penetrate, and then possibly kick out for open threes as opposed to that lane being clogged with more traditional big fellas.
Here's Macon off the front of the rim, last touched by the Charlotte Hornets. That ball went off Terry Henderson. Macon has played well for Miami, 17 points. Walton Jr. has 11. Five on the shot clock. Time to go. And the ball's knocked away and a foul on Henderson, and it appeared that Ike Nwamu was losing the handle before that foul was committed.
Yeah, and there looked to be a lot of contact, too, as Coach Jay Fernandez was talking to the official over there on the screen that was set on Makura before that, which then led to the foul later.
Hernan
Gomez back in. Mathiang will have a seat. 7:49 to go in the fourth. Miami is 0-1, and Charlotte in this summer league 1-0.
And Rick, you spoke about Malachi Richardson in our last game. That he, you know, third year, you should be doing some things here in summer league that are showing us that, you know, you're getting better year in and year out. And to me, Hernan Gomez looks that way in this game as a guy who's been in the league for a year. He has some NBA experience, and he looks very confident, in control of himself, getting to his spots on the floor, getting his shots when he wants it, and that's what that experience should do for you.
And that 9-1-1 3 wouldn't go. There were 2 on the shot clock for Hernan Gomez. And here's Vaughn back from Miami. Dribbled it off his hip, collected, and missed. Makura with the board. Devontae Graham up to Hernan Gomez with the Euro step, and one. Get him to the line.
I mean, think about that. Great pass by Devontae Graham, but Hernan Gomez shoots the three, gets back on defense, and then after the shot goes up for Miami, is able to sprint, get down the court, get ahead of the basketball, and finish off the Euro step, which we shouldn't be surprised about that. He's from Europe.
Correct.
And
well played.
Finish through the contact.
Hernan Gomez was on the all-rookie team in 2017 and having a ball game. He's got the cool tat on the left shoulder. And what a hit-ahead pass by Devontae Graham. I think Devontae Graham's going to be in the NBA for a long time.
I agree. He's solid. You know, he makes good decisions. Again, as a 4-year guy, you know, just confident, assured him of what he wants to do. You know, he's not going to be afraid to compete against anybody. And he's played some big-time college basketball on some really big stages. And those are things that can transfer to the NBA. And you know, whether he's starting or coming off the bench, I think he's always going to be the type of player that you can put out on the floor and trust what he's going to do.
Bacon has 17, and he has tied this game 74 apiece.
First personal 17.
Graham get tangled up there with Inoko. Inoko trying to sell the contact. Macon against Miles Bridges. Macon tries the other way, scoops it up and off, and the rebound to Hernan Gomez. Bridges. And is that a traveling violation? Sure looked like it. Yep, and traveling called on Bacon. And Eric Glass, the Summer League head coach of the Miami Heat, looked at the ref like, what took you so long?
Yeah, and the referee looked at him first, like, calm down.
Like,
don't tell me.
Do you need a tech?
What I need to call?
Do you need a tech over here about this?
No, I'm okay. I'm calm. I'm here as an NBA TV representative. I'm not in my coach.
No. I'm talking about. Is that what the ref was saying back to? Coach Glass.
I'm not sure. But I think you can't expect players and coaches not to react to what happens in real time.
Last I checked, he was an incredibly competitive organization.
Yeah.
Has that changed anytime soon?
I don't think so. Which is why
Pat Riley's here in the building, right?
Yeah.
Here's Devontae Graham. And I'm friendly with Eric Glass, great guy, and he's a chill guy. He really is kind of a relaxed, laid-back guy. Fiery, but not a real demonstrative, animated guy. At least not that I have seen so far. And that three ball is good. Big shot from the left wing by Ike and Owamu, and Miami takes a 5-point lead. Hard not to be chill when you live in South Florida. As Miles Bridges strokes another one. And it's a 3-point game approaching 5 minutes to go.
Well, if he can do that, I don't know if it's going to be that hard to find minutes. Because, you know, he plays hard. He plays with energy. You know, he can get up off the floor, but, you know, if he can create his own shot, what a pass.
Look at that pass, Devontae Graham to Makura, and he is fouled. A 3-point play opportunity. How did he fit that pass through the traffic in there?
Devontae Graham dropping dimes out here in Sin City. We'll be back.
To enjoy Jack Daniel's honey, you don't have to be a whiskey drinker.
You don't have to know we've been doing this for over 150 years.
You don't have to visit Lynchburg either.
Or know the real story behind our number 7.
And you don't need to know that we use real honey from real bees.
Like I said, you don't have to be a whiskey drinker. You just need a friendly introduction.
This burger speaks American. 2 flame-grilled beef patties, melted American cheese, beer-flavored creamy tavern sauce, crispy onions, and crispy bacon. The king of burgers meets the king of beers. Introducing the American Brewhouse King, only at Burger King.
Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
Summer wants you to slip out of the office and into a swimsuit. It wants bonfires that go way later than they should. Basically, if you're summering with a Corona in hand, you're doing it right. But don't take it from us, take it from Summer.
Look at Bill Self, head coach of Kansas, former coach of Devontae Graham, smiling like a proud papa because his former point guard is, as you said,
dropping dimes. dropping dimes.
Taking me back
Graham.
to that Kevin Love and Damian Lillard commercial. I'm a big fan. Devontae Graham in most mock drafts was late first, early second, ended up going early second, and he's part of the plan for these Charlotte Hornets. You give up a couple of future second-round picks to get him, he's going to be there for a minute. And that ball spills off the rim into the hands of Willie Hernan-Gomez. And here's Bacon driving. I thought he was going to go for the reverse. Makura over to Graham, swinging it around. Hernan-Gomez spinning. The lefty shot in the tap up with the right hand.
Quick off the floor. You know, the first shot a little bit off, but he felt it coming off the glass, and to be able to get down, get back up real quick, and finish the game. Just nice all-around game for Hernan-Gomez.
22 points for Willie Hernan-Gomez. Here's Walton Jr. Long, and a one-handed rebound by Hernan-Gomez. Graham behind the back to Makura. Were they the Globetrotters? Here's Bacon. He was met at the rim and rejected. And down on the floor, that's Miami Heat basketball. Great hustle play. And that was Macon on the floor, and Makura with the block. And then he bum rushes his guy out of the way. And it's going to be Hornets ball. Boy, the intensity's really picked up here over the last couple minutes.
And Makura's, you know, from Xavier, used to scrapping, fighting, good mid-major college basketball, and he gets after it. I've watched him play a couple times in school, and he's not afraid to mix it up, man. Contesting shots, blocking, and excited to get the possession back.
Good job by Derek Walton Jr. I believe that was Bacon on the baseline, kind of rolling into him, and he literally jumped up and got his leg out of the way. And here is Bacon for three. And the Charlotte Hornets have taken a 5-point lead, and Dwayne Bacon has 20. 8-0 run by the Hornets. Macon. Off to Nwamu. He challenged Hernan-Gomez and draws the foul. To the chagrin of Charlotte Hornets staffers to our right.
It looked bad because Hernan-Gomez's arm was kind of up in a weird position, so it looked like he pushed him or extended the arm, but I didn't think he really did in that situation. But, you know, sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't.
Nwamu hits the first free throw. It's a 4-point game. Hernan-Gomez with 22, Bacon with 20, and Bridges with 14. And those are the three gentlemen that Charlotte Hornets brass wanted to see play well in this game. And they've all answered the bell, and we have a one-possession game. 3-point bulge for Graham and the Hornets. This possession will probably take us inside 3 minutes.
But again, Rick, here in this possession, watch how the Hornets are playing basketball. The lane was open. Hernan-Gomez popped up to the elbow. The other three guys were out on the perimeter.
And Makura beats the shot clock.
And I think that's the excitement that they have in Charlotte in terms of this new style of play, in particular with the versatile wings and forwards they have. If that lane is open, more driving opportunities, more chances to drive and kick for open threes.
Walton Jr. pulls with 10 on the shot clock. Did you like that shot?
I didn't love it. He's capable of making it, and he's competing hard, but didn't have to take that one. And with 2.5 to go, still a long time, 2-possession game.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
In an era of online retail where everything is just a few clicks away, buying a car should be no different. That's why at Carvana, you can buy a car 100% online. We made it easy to browse, view, and buy from over 10,000 cars. You can even trade in your old car, all while binge watching your favorite TV show. Afterwards, we'll deliver your car to you. Or you can pick it up from one of our car vending machines. Either way, your car comes with a 7-day return policy. So grab a seat, relax in your comfy pants, and enjoy the new way to buy a car at Carvana.
It's summer.
Summer is here!
The surest sign that summer has arrived. The summer can from Corona. Get it while you can.
Hoopheads, Summer League action continues tonight in Vegas on NBA TV and the ESPN app. After us, it'll be the Mavericks and the Bucks coming your way roughly 7 Eastern. Then the Jazz and the Knicks at 9, and the Kings and Clippers at 11 Eastern. All games streaming on the ESPN app, and all of those games will be right here at Cox Pavilion. Rick Kamla, Derek Fisher, and Roe Parrish enjoying this one. Charlotte with the Rock in a 5-point lead, just over 2 minutes to go. And Graham tried to dime Hernan Gomez, but left that attempt short in a big stop for Miami.
Yeah, I think Hernan Gomez got confused in the air. He wasn't sure if it was a pass or a shot, so he didn't attack the rim with the same aggression he's been showing. Nice setup by Graham. See if the Hornets can get a stop here.
Maybe get a 3-point attempt for Duncan Robinson, who has the ball right now. He comes off the screen, he's driving, he's diming, and Devontae Graham knocked the ball away. 2 on the shot clock, and then a foul on Dwayne Bacon. And that is the exact thing that the Charlotte coaching staff did not want to happen, a foul with 1.7 on the shot clock.
And Duncan Robinson, good job coming off that screen roll action, getting downhill and dropping it off to the big fella. And the way he can shoot the ball, guys will always have to be close to him. So if he can put it down and make a play for himself or others from there, he might have a future in this league.
Here's Macon, guarded by Bridges. Izzo would be proud of that defensive stance. Macon trying to get around Hernan Gomez, and he sets up a bucket for Miami. Slithering through and scoring nicely was Rashad Vaughn. 3-point ball game, 1.5 to go. Here's Bridges, spinning, twirling, and missing. There's Rashad Vaughn. He's driving. And a couple of passes and then a foul underneath. And really of the bailout variety, as that layup was missed by Landry and Oko.
Number 7, Dwayne Bacon, 4th personal, 2nd in the last 2 minutes.
Daryl Macon driving along the baseline and almost completely out of real estate. And then Rashad Vaughn comes flying down the lane. Got the drop off and a nice up and under finish for 2.
That was an Indiana Jones pass right there, wasn't it? It was a cliffhanger. It got up in the air. I like the way you put that. He had no real estate left at all.
Well, so many guards have really improved in that area. I think Steve Nash kind of comes to mind first as a guy that really started exploring that baseline and being able to find guys from there. And then Chris Paul was able to take it, I think, to another level, beyond Steve Nash as well. But a lot of guards able to operate along the baseline. So if you don't shut that baseline all the way off, then there are going to be opportunities to make plays on the other side.
This possession will take us under a minute to go. Charlotte with a 2-point lead. And it's down to 5 on the shot clock here for Miles Bridges. He's driving, he's missing. What a rebound by McCurry. Goes back up and scores. What an athletic play by the rookie out of Xavier.
Tough, man. Loves to compete and get after it. This game is not always just shooting threes and, making nice moves.
Speaking of, Rashad Vaughn with a silencer. And it brings Miami within 1. Timeout by Charlotte.
Good action.
Yes. 88-87. This is the good stuff in Las Vegas. And we'll be back for the conclusion. 36.1. Fish doesn't want OT, but I do.
Say goodbye to the one-size-fits-all family unlimited plan. Starting now, everyone gets the plan they want without paying for things they don't want. Mom gets the unlimited she needs, Dad gets the unlimited he needs, the kids get the unlimited they need. It's big news from Verizon.
Wow. All this for us.
Yeah, and every other family in America. I think the Kowalskis are next.
One family, different unlimited plans, starting at $40 per line. Switch now and get $300 off our best phones, all on the network you deserve.
Gatorade. With carbs to help fuel your muscles and help you make the leap to the next level. Studied, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
What do you pair with the decadent triple melt burrito loaded with seasoned beef and 3 melty cheeses? From the mountainous Dew region, a late harvest Baja Blast. The triple melt burrito and medium drink. Taco Bell's new $2 duo.
Welcome back to Cox Pavilion for the MGM Resorts NBA Summer League. Hornets with a 1-point lead over the Heat. 36.1 seconds left, and Charlotte has the ball coming out of this timeout, and it's key to note that they have 4 more seconds to get the ball across the timeline after they inbound.
Yeah, they took the dribble after the rebound, so about 4.5 seconds, when that clock ticks just over 16. Heat don't look like they're going to put pressure up, but something to keep in mind just in case that clock starts to wind down.
Glad to have you with us worldwide on NBA TV for the conclusion of this Summer League thriller. Rick Hamlin, Derek Fisher, and Roe Parrish enjoying ourselves, and here we go. Graham hands off to Hernan Gomez. The fadeaway is way short, and the rebound is out of bounds, and Miles Bridges couldn't save it. He's out of bounds. It'll be Miami ball, down 1 with 20.2 to go.
Decent action for the Hornets. A couple dribble weave actions. Got Hernan Gomez a nice little shot kind of coming off of a dribble weave.
And Charlotte is challenging that he was not out of bounds. He was whistled out of bounds on the save attempt, and Charlotte is saying, he was in bounds. So Jay Fernandez has challenged that call by the officials. And there is the dramatic green challenge light. I love this. I love the red flag in the NFL.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, it creates the coaching decisions and drama, and each team is allowed one coach's challenge during the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter in OT. If the first challenge is successful, the team gains a second challenge and retains the timeout. Look here at the bottom. If the challenge is unsuccessful, and as we take a look at this replay, was he in or out, Derek Fisher?
We will see. He looked like he was out when the ball hit him originally on the shoulder.
So maybe not the best challenge. But it's tough. It's on the other side of the court where Jay Fernandez is. There was traffic. There were bodies in between the coach and where the play occurred. And 20 seconds left. Why not, sort of gamble, if you will, on getting a fortunate call?
For sure. Anything you can do, obviously within the rules, to get a possession back for your team, that's what you should try and do.
So the officials are, and by the way, Charlotte is out of timeouts right now, assuming that this challenge is unsuccessful. But the officials are looking at it right now at the scores table. And obviously, Eric Glass is with his team, and Jay Fernandez is with his team.
And, let's look for, Jay Fernandez coming out of this timeout. Is he going to – the Hornets are up 1, reminding his guys to defend without fouling. And make sure that they don't, give the Heat an opportunity to take the lead from the free throw line. Make them earn a bucket.
There is Jay Fernandez and the blinking green light. We had a dramatic challenge last night.
Charlotte has lost their challenge.
And so they did lose the challenge, and they lost that timeout. And they need to fix the clock here. It says 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And it needs to be 21.6. There we go.
And Rick, another observation of our brilliant stat guy here is that the Hornets, by challenging and losing, lose the timeout. So then if the Heat were to score, you don't have an opportunity to call timeout and get something set up to go back and score on them.
Rashad Vaughn for the lead and offers up an air ball, and then the foul given by Derek Walton Jr. on Devontae Graham. He'll stride to the other end, unless they had a foul to give, and they did. So, and that's actually bad news for the Heat. More time's going to come off the clock here as they're going to give this foul off the inbound on J.P. McCurra. That's assuming that McCurra can pass it to one of his teammates. McCurra gets it into Bacon, and he is fouled by Rashad Vaughn. In 0.8 of a second came off with that extra inbound right there. Very surprised that Rashad Vaughn, who's played really well here today, fired up an air ball right there.
Very dangerous pass by McCurra going across the court and towards the opponent's bucket. I'm sure Jay Fernandez and Mitch Kupchak and the guys in here may have paused for a second while that ball was in flight.
First free throw good for Bacon. So, Fish, if he hits both, do you foul the Heat before they get off a three to make sure, you know, that they don't get a three-point shot to tie the game? Like, what's your philosophy on that?
With 7.2, you still probably want to wait a few seconds if you can do that, but it's such a dangerous call. I'm old school a little bit in terms of believing that my team can get a stop, but it depends on the time to score and your players. You know, do you have guys that will understand when to reach in at the right time and commit that foul without, you know, giving up 3 free throws possibly, and then you don't even get a chance to get the stop actually.
So coming up next, it's the Dallas Mavericks and the Milwaukee Bucks from Cox Pavilion. You will see that game live on NBA TV. So this game is far from over. 7.2 seconds left, and a 3-point deficit for Eric Glass and the Miami Heat. So who do you want taking the shot here? I mean, Derek Walton Jr. hit a buzzer beater at the end. It was either the first quarter or the second quarter. You've got Duncan Robinson, who's just a driller from deep. Rashad Vaughn's had a good game, but just airballed the where are you trying to go here if you're Eric Glass?
I mean, I like Duncan Robinson as at least an option on this play. And Derek Walton is capable of getting his own shot off. You know, he doesn't necessarily need a screen or a pin down the way Duncan Robinson might need it. So you could run some quick action. They should be able to advance the ball since it was off free throws. So they'll have a pretty quick opportunity to get something they like.
Rick Campbell, Derek Fisher, and Roe Parrish enjoying this one. This is day 3 of the MGM Resorts NBA Summer League in Las Vegas. And Derek Walton Jr. The wheels are turning right there. He's got the play in his mind. We'll find out soon if it's drawn up for him or somebody else.
And you like Daryl Macon is a great option as well.
Great call.
He's a big shot maker also.
And I just saw Rashad Vaughn kind of shaking his head a little bit as he got ready for this play. Still can't believe he fired up that air ball. So Duncan Robinson will inbound from the side. Miles Bridges guarding him. And here comes Vaughn. Oh, they wanted to get it to Duncan Robinson, and there it is. The foul given by Bacon on Rashad Vaughn before they could even get the ball to Duncan Robinson. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Fish, that play was drawn up to get Robinson a look or at least the ball.
Yes, and to at least have the option to get him the look, but with Rashad Vaughn on the catch, not forcing that look, and then Rashad has the ability to get that shot off himself if that opportunity presented itself. Charlotte with an earlier foul than, you know, maybe some coaches would have liked to use, but in a summer league situation, you know, teams not having as many timeouts, you know, they may feel that playing the foul game, even with 5.8 left, they still can hold on for the win.
One more for Rashad Vaughn as he hit the first to make it a 2-point game. Clutch free throws. So Charlotte up 1. 5.8, and it'll be McCurra to play it in. And he gets it into Devontae Graham. Man, is he quick. Just got to step on Walton, and that's all it took for McCurra to complete that pass. So Devontae Graham will stride to the line. 5.2 to go. And high drama here in Vegas.
He's quick, and he wants the ball, though. You know, he goes to attack it and make sure that that possession is secure. McClure is a good guy to be able to use in those situations to take the ball out. He has good size, you know, but he's a guard. So he's comfortable making those passes, and he can still see, you know, against long defenders that might be pressuring him out of bounds.
Miami still has a timeout remaining. And Graham hits them both. Devontae Graham, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, and the lead is back to 3. And Eric Glass takes that final timeout for Miami. And that's Devontae Graham. That's the guy we watched at Kansas. The knowledge, the ability to get to that ball as the leader. I'm the point guard. I need that rock. I'm going to go to the line. I'm going to make both free throws. That's just the leadership that we saw under Bill Self as a Jayhawk.
And the confidence and comfort level in being in those situations. You know, 4 years of school, being on the road at Kansas State with the game on the line, stepping up and knocking those free throws down. He's seen those pictures before. I recall as a player, you know, hitting 2 free throws on the road to help secure a win in college. I relied on that experience as a pro my entire career, knowing that I could step up there and do it for my team. So watching Devontae Graham make play after play, winning plays, finishing at the rim, dropping dimes in Las Vegas like we talked about earlier. But he's seen so much basketball and experienced so many things. He feels confident in everything he wants to do out there. Solid performance for the first-year player.
10 points, 7 dimes for Devontae Graham. And again, a coup on draft night. Swing that deal with the Atlanta Hawks and get him for a couple of future second-round picks. You know, in a lot of drafts, Fish, this was a super deep draft. In a lot of drafts, he might have gone 19 or 20 in a weaker draft.
Very possible. Very possible. But the draft was deep. I think there were a lot of players with a lot of potential, and in particular where the league is now, you know, for guys at Devontae Graham's size, not as much the premium as it used to be. Now 6'5", 6'6", long arms, big wingspan. That's what everybody's looking for.
Will they foul again before the three-point shot is fired? With 5.2.
I would assume so. If that was the strategy before, you know, they're confident in their free throw makers.
So here's Duncan Robinson. He got the 3, but a foul by Hernan Gomez right before Robinson turned and took that shot. Look at Rashad Vaughn with his hands on top of his head. And they sort of, Eric Glass inverted the play call there. Before it was Robinson inbounding to Vaughn. That time it was Vaughn inbounding to Robinson. And so Duncan Robinson will toe the line here with 4 ticks left, down 3.
And those are the decisions as a coach. That time Hernan Gomez got caught out there in that switch on Robinson. And maybe sometimes your bigs aren't as nimble to foul quick enough at the right time before Robinson gets that three-point attempt up.
Fish, are you intentionally missing this free throw here? Both teams out of timeout. You got 4 seconds left. Does this need to be an intention? It is. Hits it off the rim, but is that a lane violation? Yes, it is. Duncan Robinson ran into the paint too soon. He crossed the free throw line too soon off the intentional miss, and Robinson has that smile on his face like, whoa, what did I do? Did Charlotte ball, the inbound to Devontae Graham, and the foul given there by Derek Walton Jr., but
I'd like to see that back, though. He fired that ball up there at the rim pretty quickly. You know, referee was pretty sure of the call there.
Little sneak attack thing. It did look like he crossed the free throw line a little bit too early.
Got across early.
And Graham, another clutch free throw. Derek, you tell me.
Technically, he did. Here's the problem, though, with that is there are some guys in the NBA that shoot free throws and are coming over the line. In the finals, in the Eastern Conference Finals, LeBron actually did it several times. So you can't call it sometimes and not call it other times.
So both free throws made by Devontae Graham to basically seal it and put Charlotte up 4. Macon came back from Miami. I'm not sure that would have counted had it gone regardless. The Charlotte Hornets are off to a 2-0 start here at the MGM Resorts NBA Summer League, dropping the Miami Heat to 0-2. Man, we had dunks, we had a coaching challenge, we had clutch free throws, we had an unfortunate injury to Derrick Jones Jr. We had a blast. This was a heck of a Summer League game.
Yes, all of that equals competitiveness. And that's what you want to see here in the Summer League action. These are not glorified practices. You know, this is not, we'll try hard sometimes. These guys are out here fighting for jobs, you know, fighting for their place in the NBA. And they're coming out and putting the type of performances that they can be proud of. And I know all the fans here are enjoying every minute of it.
Bacon had 22 and 6 rebounds. Willie Hernan-Gomez had 22 with 10 rebounds. Devontae Graham makes all of his free throws, 12 points and 7 assists. Bridges had 14 points and 5 rebounds. Makura had 11 points, 5 boards, and a couple of assists. And for Miami, Macon had 17, and off the bench, Rashad Vaughn had 16. So